You fell 60 feet from helicopter.
It probably would have killed an average man. I had one leg going this way and one leg going that way. We all ended up in a wheelchair gang for about 6 months or more.
Today's guest has one of the most powerful transformation stories I've ever heard.
What does it feel like when you have both legs broken? The pain was very unbearable. One day I had this mystical experience. I felt my energy body for the first time. I'm like, whoa, what is this? I felt each chakra start to light up. Shortly after that mystical experience, everything changed. I went out of body. I was like seeing the earth from satellite position. There's over 10,000 studies on pulsing electromagnetic field therapy.
If Nikola Tesla walked into one of your pyramids today, what do you think he would say?
He might recognize some of his technology that he invented.
Hello and welcome to Wellness is Life podcast. I'm your host, Natalia Naila, and today's guest has one of the most powerful transformational stories I've ever heard. Jason Stiles is a former Air Force pararescue specialist who served over a decade in one of the most elite rescue units in the world. After surviving multiple near-death experiences, including a 60-foot fall from a helicopter, he dedicated his life to exploring how the body heals itself. That journey led him to studying metaphysics and biophysics and ultimately to founding iPyramids, a company creating quantum healing devices inspired by Tesla coils, sacred geometry, and pulsed electromagnetic fields. His technology is designed to help with EMF protection, grounding, and detox, overall energy balance. And today, his pyramids and iTorus devices are being used by wellness seekers, healers, and high performers all around the world. In this episode, we'll dive into Jason's story, how PEMF and pyramid technology actually work, what mainstream medicine is missing, and simple hacks for protecting yourself from EMFs in everyday life. We'll also dive into his top personal biohacks and his daily manifestation practice. But before we begin, I want to thank today's sponsor, Aura Wellness. This is truly one of my favorite products. I use it every morning and night without skipping, and I've seen incredible results from glowing skin to fewer wrinkles. Their glutaril antioxidant spray delivers high-potency glutathione and works by supporting your mitochondria, the powerhouses of your cells. That means your skin and your energy are being supported from the inside out. If you want to try it for yourself, see the link in my description and use my promo code Natalia15 for 15% off. Glutathione, you spray 4 sprays on your arm and then you rub it in. Make sure you rub it in all the way through till it dries out like this. And once it starts drying out, but it takes about 30 seconds. Then you start tapping in till it all dries out and it feels smooth and silky. That way you know all the glutathione absorbed into your blood, into your skin. Jason?
Natalia?
So lovely seeing you. Where did I meet you before? I met you last year.
We were at the BioBiz together in Scottsdale.
Yes, in Scottsdale. You were speaking on stage, and I was also one of the speakers there. And when I saw you speak, I was like so mesmerized by your story, but what you accomplished and what you're doing right now with your building the pyramids, healing energetically, and it's just so interesting. Like you were so inspiring to see you speak on stage, and you were so vibrant, and yeah, the energy is so powerful right now. I'm like vibrate. First of all, you brought me today. Okay, let's talk about this. I was like, Jason, I bought a couple of your iToruses. 2 of them are here, and I've been using them in the past year. Exactly, actually a year. Last year we met, and it's every day. I use them every day. Incredible stories. First of all, I want to tell a story. Last year when I met you, I bought one of these smaller devices, which I plug into my iPad or my iPhone. So I went, I went to one of the conferences a month later, and I was a speaker there. And when I arrived in Miami, my back was in such a huge pain, and I rarely have any back pain because I worked out with a new trainer and he pushed me so hard and I threw off my back. So I arrived and I was like, even Tylenol was not helping me. And the next day I was supposed to speak, and as a speaker, you need to have a lot of energy, be vibrant, and I couldn't sleep that night. It was such a pain, and then at 3 o'clock in the morning, it hit me. I'm like, oh my God, so let me turn on my iTours. I remember Jason was speaking, talking about how if you have any pain, which you've gone through so much pain, we talk about this, that you use one of these devices and it will start healing. I literally got up, I put it on, I put on the healing mode, pain mode, and within the 30 minutes, I fell asleep. The pain went from 100 to 30%. I fall asleep, and I was functioning perfect the next day. I had minimum pain. I took a Tylenol, knocked it off. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. And since that moment, I haven't stopped using one of these devices. And I'm actually so happy that you brought me an upgraded size. And I was just, when you told me you're going to bring me a bigger size, and I was like, I hope he's going to bring me the blue one. I really want that blue one that I saw at one of the conferences. And sure enough, you're showing up with the blue one. How incredible manifestation, how the power of thoughts are working on a distance. So tell me about this beautiful iTours that you brought me in the blue color.
Yeah, it's so interesting because I was like, which one should I bring her? And I was like, in my mind, I was seeing blue. So I was like, okay, what do we have in stock that's blue? And that's a limited edition that we release every once in a while. And we had one of those left. I'm like, well, that's the one.
Wow.
It's got to be blue.
I mean, it's insane.
And this is...
What is the stone like?
We have lapis lazuli and sodalite and azurite all on the outside there. And in the middle, you have shungite and magnetite. So it's very powerful.
Very powerful. And I know this one will resonate about 12 feet in the field, the radius of the field.
So 12 feet radius, so it's 24 feet diameter. And about a bedroom size. It'll cover the whole bedroom. And then you can place it on. I like it. This is my go-to size. This is the iTours 5 because it's not too heavy. I can pick it up and put it on my person if I have pain or if I have some kind of condition that I want to resolve. Then I'm going to put that right over it. And it's interesting. When I met you, I was recovering from, I threw my back out in Mexico. I was in Tulum, and I was installing a chandelier up in this spa.
Yeah, I saw that on one of these
and
stories.
And then I was going to the gym, and I was seeing a trainer at the jungle gym, and he was like teaching me how to have good form in squats. Squats is my weak area because I have a chronic back injury from the Air Force. Anyways, long story short, I threw my back out. That morning I woke up and I couldn't get out of bed. I was like locked up. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to get on a flight. I got to get to Arizona. So I didn't have any pain pills. I had this tool though. So I started using that as soon as I could. And I met you 3 days later. And usually that kind of a sports injury, I'm out for 3 weeks.
Wow.
But I got myself back to being on stage in
you
a matter
were like
of 3 days.
jumping on stage. You were like vibrant. I had no idea you had went through such a pain.
So it can be a lifesaver.
It was.
A little tool.
It was in my case, and it was
toolbox.
It was a smaller one that I used. I plugged it in through your subscription. What do you call subscription?
Subscription Tours app.
Tours app, and I played the pain, and voila! Even the small one really healed me. So I can't imagine this one is going to do. So also, I know you, I was actually flattered when Dylan, one of your assistant and marketing guy, he told me that when I invited you to this podcast, he's like, well, we don't really go to a lot of podcasts. Jason is very protected, how he, spends his energy with who. And I feel like we really love what you did with our one of the reels that I did for you. And you were like, we really like how you get our product. We really feel like you get us. And I really appreciate that comment. And so hopefully this podcast will reach a lot of people and a lot of people get to know you. So I know you personally now. I know your story now. I want the world to get to know you. How old So how did your journey begin, and what was the pivotal moment that changed your entire perspective on life?
Well, that is a really good question. There's so many pivotal moments. I was out of high school. I joined the Air Force, and I joined this pararescue team. It's the most highly trained rescue force in the world. And it took, it was about a 95% washout rate. And we started out with 1,000 guys. We finished with 5 guys at the end of this training. And that was a pivotal moment. It was like, man, if you really push, your mind is so powerful. If you really push yourself, you can accomplish anything. That taught me to push myself past my limits of belief. And that kind of set me up trajectory, that put me in a path of success right there. That was such a big pivotal moment. And then when I got out of the Air Force, I had another big pivotal moment. I was like chasing the mystical experience. I was studying metaphysics, starting to meditate, getting into a routine of sun gazing and a holistic practice of, the right food, the right diet, the right exercise. I was really cleaning up my diet and focusing on all the things that can increase your performance levels. And one day during meditation, I had this mystical experience where I felt my energy body for the first time. I'm like, whoa, what is this? And I felt like chakras turning on. I felt each chakra start to light up, and I'm like laying there with my eyes closed, feeling this energy. It's like have you ever had a blissful experience last for like 30 minutes? It felt like that. It was very orgasmic, 30 minutes long. And it was just me feeling myself and tuning into my energy for the first time ever.
Were you under one of your pyramids that
It
you've built,
wasn't.
or it wasn't?
It was before that. And I was also going through a lot of like soul searching, like what is my purpose now? Now that I'm done with this old career in the Air Force, what's my new purpose? So I'm constantly asking that question in meditation and soul searching. And when that happened, that mystical experience, in my mind's eye, I'm seeing all kinds of interesting things, like traveling through the galaxy. I'm seeing timelines, and it's just like all these flashes coming to me really fast.
And it's just in meditation. Were you using any special substances
It was breath work. There's some breath work involved to get into a calm meditative state, and then I was leading up to like doing a lot of sun gazing, so that those regimens and that practice was leading up to that.
So sun gazing, there's different ways to do sun gazing. Did you move any energies while you're practicing sun gazing, or you were just looking at sun for, let's say, how long of the periods?
Yeah, like in the morning, like 15 minutes right at sunrise,
Just looking at the
15
sun.
minutes right at sunset, just looking at it and going into like an altered state meditation, like closing my eyes sometimes and then seeing if I can see like the energy coming from the sun.
Beautiful. I do that every day too. But I want to go back to you didn't finish the story on your Air Force, and because there's so much to learn about you from there. You had many death experiences while you were in Air Force, and also you...
Many near-death experiences. Yes.
Can we talk about that? And also
Sure.
you fell 60 feet from helicopter. I mean, how did you survive that? I want to hear that.
It probably would have killed an average man. It's just my humor there, but that was probably the most pivotal moments of my life, falling from a helicopter. I was on a rescue mission, and there was a pilot that was stuck in a tree. He got punched out. His parachute was stuck in a tree. Me and 3 guys got dropped off to get him out of the tree, get him on the ground. Helicopter comes and hoists him up, gets him in the helicopter. And then there came time for them to get us out, and they dropped us a rope. They're like, hey, we're starting to take fire. We got to get out of here quickly. Here's a rope, clip in. So we clip in, and we're like lifting off, and the helicopter starts to fly away. And then all of a sudden, I hear the snap, 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 break, break, break. And I went, where's the helicopter going? And I'm like, what is going on?
Oh my
And I'm like, oh
God.
my God, this is going to hurt. So I had all this time to really process what was happening. And
In
next
the
thing you
moment you were
know,
like falling.
I was falling through the air, me and two other
Yeah.
guys.
And two other guys too.
Yeah, my friends that were all in this rescue together. We all ended up being needed to be rescued at that point because we hit the ground like a sack of potatoes. I had multiple broken legs. We were all
Wow.
unconscious for a little bit. I came to, and I had one leg going this way and one leg going that way. And I'm like, oh my
Goodness.
gosh, I can't even walk. So I started scooching to my buddies who were unconscious. And
And you're not even knowing if they're alive or
yeah, it
what.
was like at that point, we're like, are we all going to die? Or, it was very scary.
And where was it? In which
That was in
country?
Okinawa, Japan.
Wow.
Yeah.
When was that?
2005. Yeah.
So then who rescued you then?
Some of our buddies back at our squadron got called like, hey, we got a rescue and it's your teammates. So we had some teammates come pick us up. And
Was it a while till they got to you?
yeah, it took them about 30 minutes
Okay.
to arrive.
Was you were in such a pain, or you didn't even feel the pain because you were in such a trauma?
Yeah, you feel it.
You started feeling it.
Yeah.
Wow. Was it like unbearable? Tell me about the pain, because that's where
It
all this
was-
coming from.
It was a good lesson of what does it feel like when you have both legs broken. Yeah, the pain was very unbearable. And it's interesting, I've had another serious accident before that where when I get into the helicopter or the ambulance and they hit me with an IV, I'm like waiting for the morphine to kick in. Well, each time they didn't get the IV right and the morphine never kicked in. So I got an extra lesson in pain. I remember there was like these Marines that came by and they're like, hey, we heard on the radio that there's an accident. And I'm like, yeah, my medical bag's right over there. I have more morphine in there if you can go get it. And it's one of those things. It's kind of funny that
Yeah.
each time I had to suffer until we got to the operating room. And then they're like, okay, we're going to put you under.
Wow. And what about the other bodies? What happened to them?
Well, we all ended up in a wheelchair gang for about 6 months or more. It was the three of us. And we ended up going through the physical therapy, multiple surgeries. We all ended up getting out on a medical retirement after that. It was
in
our
Japan.
career was
All
pretty
in
much
Japan.
over.
It was all in Japan.
Yeah.
And then you came here, and that's when your whole journey of healing started.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah, there was a typical healer's journey of
So
trying to figure out how
did
to
you,
heal myself.
What did you do? Were you on a lot of pain afterwards when you came home?
I was going through processes of corrective surgeries, trying to fix all the traumatic injuries, and then here's some more pain pills. Just keep taking these. So I was really dependent on pain pills for the longest time,
How
and
long?
bedridden for the longest time. Yeah, so I had a lot of time on the horizontal position, laying there, wondering what I was going to do with my life. Yeah.
And how did you? Well, of course, you had these pivotal moments of your energy awakening. And when did you come up with this idea to build iTours and building your iPyramids?
Shortly after that mystical experience, everything changed. My perception of reality changed, and how I perceived the physical body and energy and what we're made of. And that led into me having a lot of dreams, a lot of downloads and dreams. I was dreaming about pyramids at one point. I was like, why am I dreaming about pyramids so much? So I started researching it. And at the time when I was taking some classes, I was going back to med school and trying to continue that medical education. I was taking an alternative medicine class, and one of my research papers was, what do you see out there? What is not in the curriculum that you want to do a research paper on? So I did a research paper on pyramid energy. And after that, after the class, my research went even further. I was like, well, let's build one and let's put it to the test. So eventually, that's how it all started, is like testing it myself.
And you've traveled around the world visiting all the, the most famous pyramids. And you even went to Ginza. What is that one? Ginza?
I went to the Giza Plateau
Giza
in
Plateau.
Egypt.
Yes. So tell me about all the places that you went. And did you charge your already tourists, or when you went? Tell me your experience.
Well, I went to the Giza pyramid before I had the iTaurus even created. And the Giza experience, for a while there, for about 5 years, I was fascinated with all these ancient sites, these sacred sites, and these wonders of the world. And Giza pyramid is definitely one of the 7 wonders of the world. When you get there and you stand in between them, you're looking up, you're like, how were these made? And when you get in there, we were able to go inside the King's Chamber, and just the 4 of us on this tour, and lay inside the sarcophagus. And we were able to do some toning inside there.
Like
and
the fork tuning or
toning,
toning?
like la, va,
Wow.
doing all these tonings for the chakra balancing techniques. And inside the King's Chamber is like this huge resonance chamber. So we're like toning in this massive resonance chamber, and it's just like building and building. And I went out of body, and I was like seeing the Earth from a satellite position, almost like looking down.
That is so cool.
Yeah, these things are like massive and in design, and the recent studies finding out what's underneath them. There's even more things kilometers down. I don't know if you've seen these recent studies of the Giza Plateau and what they found
No, I haven't.
underneath with different radar instruments. But yeah, it's amazing. Giza was really epic. And then I've been all around the world just visiting these different sacred sites, like Easter Island, where they have the big statues that are buried underground. The heads are sticking up. Peru, Bolivia, Pumapunku. There's all these temples over there that we can't really replicate the precision that they built these things in, like thousands of years ago. So it's very interesting to see these temples and how the ancients were building such mega structures back then.
And what did you learn from those travels and those experiences? Do you think those ancient people knew something that we don't know?
I do. I think they were working with a level of unseen energy that we typically don't see with our naked eyes. And it's an energy that you can pick up with certain spectrum analyzers. But I think they had an idea of the electromagnetic and gravitational field and how to harness it and how to use that for maybe healing, maybe like a little clinic, tune the body up. Maybe they're using it for energy. Maybe they're using it for communication, like extraterrestrial, star, cosmic kind of communication. Maybe all of the above.
And do you feel like you kind of like came to that space? I feel like you're doing that right now. Can we go over what is iTaurus and how did you build one? Look at this. This is so gorgeous. I mean, beautiful. And I know when you turn this on, it changes the colors
We do have fiber optic lights activated
inside, but it looks so gorgeous. I can't imagine it like when it's like dark and it's so beautiful. So can you explain what is iTaurus and what does it do? What can it do for healing? And how did you come up with this idea?
Well, the iTaurus is the backbone of the iTaurus is a pulsing electromagnetic field device. And we build them in 4 different sizes so it fits different lifestyle needs, whether you're traveling or you have a home station or mobile wearables.
Yeah, the ones that are on our necks. It's beautiful. And then you have the small ones, which I travel a lot with this one, and I plug into my iPhone or my tablet through your
Yeah.
app and play the frequencies. Now, this is i5, the medium size, right?
The i5. We built this. This is a bedroom size i5. It produces a 24-foot magnetic field. And you can put it right over the injury, wherever you have pain, and play a specific frequency associated with that condition in the body. Everything has a frequency.
And I love you have all kinds of different frequencies from literally, how many frequencies are there? How many?
There's hundreds of frequencies in the app.
Yeah, it's
The
beautiful.
frequencies in there are ranging for sleep aid, for mobility, pain,
Hormone,
hormone
abundance,
balance,
love, sexuality,
energy,
even hair growth.
emotional trauma.
Yes, anti-aging, skin
Oh, yeah.
rejuvenation. I play it all. I know all of them.
Yeah.
So I love it personally. I can't wait to now. What does the big one do?
So the big one, we call it the whole house harmonizer. So it produces a 55-foot measurable toroidal magnetic field. A torus is another way to say torus is donut. In physics, you call a donut a torus. And it's how all energy travels. Your electromagnetic field, the energy is in the shape of a torus when you're in coherence. The Earth's electromagnetic field is pulsing in the shape of a torus. And, the sun, too. It's like everything in nature has a toroidal or torus signature to it.
And so how do you decided to build different crystals? How do you know, which we know crystals are so, and now, by the way, you live in Sedona the last 12 years, right? You moved from Texas. Were you born in Texas, in Dallas? I'm telling you a story now. And now you're in Sedona. Why did you choose Sedona? Was that your calling, or you started to move there
It was
because
a
of
calling.
energy?
Yeah, it was calling. I went out there during this 11-11-11 event, and I didn't know the place existed. And I was like, wow, this place is really magical. And 2 months later, I got invited to share a house with somebody, one of my friends. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm in transition. I'm really actually looking for something new. Everything was already in storage at that point because I was transitioning to a new place. So I took the call.
It was like a perfect
And it
timing.
was, I went out there on a 12-month, temporary probational thing. I'll try it out. And I haven't been able to leave. It's been 12 years.
Yeah, and now you
So-
have a beautiful clinic that you've built there.
Yeah, we have a manufacturing shop there. And then we recently, about 2 years ago, we opened up a public offering. So we put all these devices in there and then a lot more. So we have hyperbaric oxygen chambers in there. We have bigger devices where you sit inside and there's 6 of these around you playing frequencies and pulsing that magnetic field through you.
I cannot wait to come and visit. What else do you have there? Your iPyramids, the pyramids
we
that
have
you build.
really big
I see that
pyramids in
now.
there.
You build them around country, different people who are around the beds.
Yeah, they fit around a bed, and in the store, there's a big circular couch. We can fit about 8 people
For the couch.
under that for a group meditation.
So what does it do, the pyramids?
Oh, well, the pyramids, the shape itself, and a lot of other sacred geometry, this is sort of a introduction to biologic architecture, and you're made up of a lot of these geometries yourself. Our bodies are made up of sacred plutonic solids, and a lot of pyramidal shapes. So we're technically a lot of geometries that are created from frequencies. So everything has a frequency. All your cells, all your organs have a different frequency. So the pyramids themselves organize the field. So when you build a structure or house or any kind of building with the right golden ratio proportions and the right material, you start to harness the atmospheric energy, the 5th element of health, which is called the electromagnetic field of Earth, which we take for granted a lot of times. So that field can be harnessed. You can build houses that help you live longer when you keep these principles in mind.
And do you have your home like that built?
So my goal when I first started dreaming about pyramids, this funny story, I was like looking at building a pyramid house. And I was like, well, I don't have the budget to do that right now, so I'll just put one over my bed. It's a temporary solution. But I see in the future, taking it to that level where I'm building and designing a house with specific golden ratio proportions in mind and specific natural materials.
That's beautiful. So when someone shows up in your clinic, what would they experience in such an energetic field? I mean, probably the energy there are massive. Wow. I mean, do people come and heal and they stay there for how long can they stay there? And what would experiences they gain after leaving that?
So typically a person comes in for an hour session. We have 5 different session stations, activation stations as I call them. Between 2 hyperbarics. The hyperbarics actually have these positioned around them, so you're not just getting hyperbaric oxygen therapy. You're getting these vortex PEMF fields pulsing through it at the same time. And that can last 60 to 90 minutes. So you choose which station you want to do, and you get a blindfold, you get headphones, you get a guided meditation, and you're allowed to just relax, let go of all the day-to-day thoughts that keep repeating in our heads. And it really helps people go, and a lot of people go out of body and they have experiences in these sessions. And they come back and they tell me a lot of different things that they saw, or maybe beings that they talked to, or relatives that they haven't seen in a while.
In just that 1 hour?
Yeah,
Wow.
It's really neat. The ARC 6 itself, I call it a unique time-space domain. And because when you're in there and you're out, it can feel like a really long time. But it only an hour went by.
What's the difference between the PEMF mat and iTorus?
So most pulsing electromagnetic field therapy mats out there, or different devices, they work similar ways, but their coils are flat. So this is a coil wrapped around a torus, and it's going clockwise and counterclockwise, which we've taken some of Tesla's inventions and we put in there. It's a bifilar coil by design, but it's different because it's wrapped around a torus. So it's a 3-dimensional coil that has created an implosion and explosion. So it's imploding into the center point. We call that phase conjugation in physics terms. So the big difference is the wave dynamics of the coil and how it's circulating like an infinite loop of what a torus does, and how a torus cleans the energy and like filters the energy. That's one of the biggest differences in a PEMF mat coil and the iTorus coil. Other than that, we have the app itself is a host of hundreds of frequencies, and these frequencies they're not just one frequency. Sometimes they're multiple harmonic frequencies. Sometimes they're 12 harmonic frequencies stacked on top of each other. So there's a lot of advanced frequencies in here. We have recreated Royal Rife's discoveries. I'm not sure if you're familiar with his work.
Yes, I do.
He made this first of its kind microscope back in the early 1900s and was able to see viruses, bacteria, and all these kind of small organisms. And then when he started playing frequencies, aiming frequencies at them, he noticed that they responded to it. Sometimes they got killed. He would be killing viruses with frequencies.
Yeah.
So he went on and documented a huge library of what frequency did what to different organisms and how it would heal us as well. So we have that library. We're starting to recreate that, and we have a lot of those added to the app.
It's fascinating. So you and your engineers are all working on putting all these frequencies.
Yeah,
on the app.
one of my best sound engineers is Art Tawanga. He's recreated a lot of these frequencies and put them in the app. And we can take, there's over 10,000 studies on pulsing electromagnetic field therapy. And we can take that study that's published and peer reviewed and we say, oh, those frequencies have been found to do this. Like there's 6 frequencies that they found that stimulate stem cells. And you can recreate more stem cells by playing these frequencies into a coil and creating a magnetic field that oscillates the cells at that rhythm.
Fascinating.
So we have that. We put that in the app.
Yeah. So you always have to plug in to these iTauruses to power outlet and then to your iPhone or the tablet to play the frequencies. Otherwise, by itself, it's not going to do anything.
Well, by itself, it is in a passive state working. It does have
It's
a
still
palpable
working.
energy. Somebody came by yesterday and they told me that when this thing arrived in the mail, I could feel the energy from it. And he hadn't had it plugged in, but he was going through a fasting period where he was very sensitive to energies. And he said he felt it. As soon as he took it out of the package, he's like, whoa.
Interesting. Wow.
It's doing something. Just because of the shape, the crystals in there have energy.
Yeah, of course.
And it is influencing the atmospheric energy, just not even turned on.
If Nikola Tesla walked into one of your pyramids today, what do you think he would say?
Well, I would think he might recognize some of his technology that he invented with the bifilar coil, and he might be hopefully impressed with the way we wrapped it around crystals and around a torus specifically. And, you know, I think he was onto something when he was building his tower and he was trying to recreate what the pyramids were doing in Giza. So I think he would
be impressed.
Probably.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
I hope so. So let's go back to your healing. You've gone through so many painkillers. You were bedridden for so many, I would say, years.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel now? What are you at now with all these healing modalities? And what can you give an advice to other people who are still on so many painkillers and so much pain? And I know myself, so many of my other fellow friends who are just can't do anything without painkillers.
Oh, so, you know, for the longest time I was addicted to pain pills. And then it came a point where I was like at an event and I met this guy that was selling sound healing CDs. And he was a metaphysical guy that was into music, and he discovered different sounds, different parts of the body was creating a different sound. And I was like, I'm going to try it out. And I got one for the lumbar. That's where a lot of my chronic pain is coming from, my back. And one day I was moving furniture, and instead of taking a pain pill, I was like, you know what, I'm going to try this CD out. So I put headphones on and I listened to this track called The Lumbar. And I swear I started feeling my lumbar tingling and vibrating. I was like, I think it's working. So that was my first experience with sound healing type technology. So nowadays, instead of if I have pain or if I have a cold or if I can't sleep, I have a tool that I can go to and play this instead of taking a pill.
Which is iTaurus.
Yeah. So these tools, they help me in my chronic pain situations. You know, I've avoided back surgeries. I've avoided knee surgery, like torn cartilage healed using this type of technology. But yeah, I feel for people that are stuck in that world. It's really hard to get past the pain. And I'm a master at pain management because I've been through so many different trials of it.
Yes, you are the example of, you know, how you look and how you function now from where you came from. So how does a pyramid structure amplify or shift energy differently than other devices?
So the pyramid structure itself is, when you build it in golden ratio proportions and the right material, you bend, attract, and harness the atmospheric energy. So there's a lot of negative ions floating around in the air. And there's a lot of magnetism too from the Earth's magnetic field. You can go outside. Here's a little exercise. If you go outside, look up in the blue sky and defocus your eyes and try to see the energy in the air. And it looks like squiggly lines. It's like little light particles that coming in and out of existence, and they're just like everywhere. Have you ever done that? You ever tried to see that?
I've done it, but I'm gonna experience it tomorrow again. I'm gonna look it up again.
Yeah, look up at the blue
Because
sky.
I do always gaze at the skies all the time, and I do the sun gazing. But I'm gonna focus on that.
It's there. The energy's there. It's always there. We take it for granted because we can't see it all the time. That's what the pyramids are doing. They're harnessing that energy, that abundant energy. The Earth's surface has the biggest amount of negative ions in our nearest vicinity. So we're taking those negative ions and we're creating like a funnel. So we're funneling it in, and then when you build it in golden ratios, it becomes a torus field, and it starts circulating like an infinite loop of energy. And that atmosphere is very healthy because we're breathing that in. Those extra ions are attached to the oxygen that we're breathing in, and we need all those elements for reproducing or rejuvenating our cells.
Yeah. And can you talk about how it's important to have our energy fields are to be clean? And also, how big is our energy field outside our body?
Well, Heart Math Institute says, based on their measurements, it's around 3 to 15 feet, depending on who you're talking to. That's generating from our heart. And like aura hygiene, I'm really big on aura hygiene. And the biggest, I think, part that we can help our aura hygiene with is our mental capacity, our mental focus, our emotions, and focusing on the good things in life and not continually focus on the bad things in life, because that's going to affect our aura, our electromagnetic torus field. And then the next biggest thing is the diet. You know, it's really hard these days to not consume toxins either from the air, the water, or the food that we eat and consume, or the information that we're consuming from the TVs. So all those, play a role in keeping your aura clean, keeping your energy clean. Toxic environments could be relationships that can constantly bring your aura down, or shrink your aura. Your energy gets shrunken. And we have a tool that we use to measure these things.
Oh, yeah?
Called the BioWell. The BioWell is a Kirlian camera, and it's also known as a gas discharge visualization tool. So it measures the energy coming off your fingers, and then it translates that into a software, and it tells you where you have breaks.
Is that in your clinic?
We have that.
Oh, that's so cool.
We have that. I travel around with that.
Oh, wow.
And
is it a smaller device that you can travel?
It's a box. It hooks up to your computer, and then there's software on the computer.
And you can buy that one?
Yeah, we sell them on our website, actually.
Oh.
We're a distributor for them, and we use it to measure when a person has a session. We'll measure their field, their aura, their charge capacitance coming off their body. We'll measure it before and after. So we can gauge where, objectively, we can gauge how it's working for them.
Wow, that's beautiful. I had no idea that such thing exists. I would love to even have it myself. But I love how you actually put it in the words, what we eat. It's how our aura is going to portray, right? How it's going to, be out clean. Or how do you have any hacks or biohacks that you can recommend how clean up on a daily basis your aura, or how to protect yourself? What do you do?
Biohacks, I would start with detoxing the body. A lot of us, if you haven't ever detoxed, then you probably need to get rid of some heavy metals, some parasites, and all the toxins associated with the stuff that's in the air and the food and the water. So I would start with that, cleaning from the gut up, and then eating healthy, because once you clean that out, you don't want to put bad stuff back in it. I would start eating organically, eating healthy, or the right stuff. Live foods, a lot of live foods.
What kind of a diet do you have? Is it?
I eat a lot of fruit and a lot of organic steak.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you would
It's
say
kinda like
you're
a carnivore diet.
carnivore. Okay. So like a raw steaks?
Not raw.
Oh, okay,
No,
okay, okay.
I'll
Yeah,
cook
yeah.
them.
Cook, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know some people into raw steaks, but it's interesting. So do you do any vegetables?
I do mostly fruit, some vegetables, and some rice, potatoes, but not much. I try not to.
Yeah.
And everybody has a different blood type, and you can actually figure out what foods you should stay away from, what foods you should eat based on your blood type. And I found that eating chicken was harmful for my digestion. So I cut that out, and I noticed that my digestion worked a lot better.
Is there a certain test or just knowing if let's say a blood O or has this kind of a diet, or how they've done these blood types, but they don't really tell you if you should eat chicken. Is there a specific test specifically for
There's a
each
book out there.
person?
There's a couple books out there that you can read up on it.
Yeah.
And they've done all the tests
Okay, yeah.
of the different blood
Yeah,
types.
I know that one you're talking about. I thought maybe there is some kind of a new blood test that actually
I wish I
specifically.
knew. I can remember the name of that
Yeah.
right now, but it escapes me. But
I know
we can-
also the food sensitivity. I love doing food sensitivity test once a year. Also kind of tells you where you're at, what foods are inflaming you at the period of that particular time. Because it could be, you might be eating a steak, but maybe at this time you shouldn't be eating steak. It kind of inflaming you. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
And
Is
then-
any other hacks,
Oh, yeah,
biohacks in
so-
your daily routine?
I mean, the basics, the right foods, oxygen, breath work, and getting enough of that. And you can do breath work for free, and you can exercise for free.
Is there any favorite breath work that you like that you do on a daily basis?
The Wim Hof breath, it's probably my favorite one that I do most. It's like 30 deep breaths, and then hold. Yeah, and then in meditation, I'm doing breath work where I'm squeezing my perineum and my abs, and I'm bringing my breath up
I love
through my
that
crown.
one too.
You know that one? And then exercise. I think we need good exercise and good sleep,
Yeah, you're in great
and
shape.
and good food, and good water and good air. Those 5 elements are the basics for biohacking and getting to good peak performance. Largely, what we're missing is PEMF, the 5th element of health, the Earth's electromagnetic field. So getting out into nature, walking barefoot, connecting with the ground.
I love that.
You can do that for free. And I feel like a lot of these bigger pyramids around the world were harnessing that and collecting it into a hot spot so you can saturate your body inside that. But yeah, the 5th element of health, I would recommend, grounding and getting into nature.
Yeah, and being on the sun too. Naked, preferably, like maybe for 10, 15 minutes a day.
Oh, absolutely. You get a lot of vitamin D activation through that.
Yeah, and mitochondria upgrades. And let me ask you this question. So there's a lot of PEMF mats on the market there. Do you think just having this device, that's all you need? You don't need any other PEMF mats? Because other wellness enthusiasts will tell you, oh my God, I have this one. And it's going to be like every day I have someone telling me that I need to buy a PEMF mat. I'm like, I live in a desert. I live in Palm Springs. I'm connected to the Mother Earth at all times. I'm barefoot. I'm on the sun. I'm sun gazing, sunset gazing, all of that. I don't feel like I need. But some people who do really need that? Would you suggest that this is enough, the
Oh,
iTorus?
I think it's a much more superior PEMF device than a mat, just because of the coil dynamics and how it's, we call it technology inspired by nature. It has more of a natural flow of energy than the most of those mats that are radiating a pulsing electromagnetic field. So yeah, and then the options in the app is going to give you a whole lot more
Which I
than a
love.
standard mat that might have a handful of frequencies. And yeah, having multiple sizes gives you different options. You can carry it around. You can use it on the plane.
And what about this one, wearing on your necklace, because it's not really connected to any like electricity or like power? What you feel from just wearing this on your necklace?
This is another hack to keep your aura in balance. Your heart is beating an electromagnetic field that's measurable out to 3 to 15 feet, and this sensor coil picks up on that. And it creates this back and forth sympathetic resonance to help entrain your aura to stay in balance.
It's a beautiful
A lot
design,
of
by the way.
practitioners in coherence and charged with energy. So yeah, it's working off your heart.
So for skeptics who say that it doesn't work, what would you say to them?
Well, first of all, this is not for everyone, but there are over 10,000 studies that talk about the efficiencies of pulsing electromagnetic field therapies, and there's over 2,000 of these studies that are double-blind studies. So they pass the placebo effect. So whether or not you believe in it or not, it works.
How do you explain EMF dangers to people who think that Wi-Fi is harmless?
Oh, wow. There's a lot of studies out there
And
that,
is iTorus, these devices protect from EMF?
we've done some tests with EMF pollution, and it's posted on a lot of our social media channels, but we're using an electromagnetic microphone. So this microphone picks up the energy coming off the TVs, energy coming off your phone, energy coming off your computers, and it looks like static chaos. And then when you put the microphone next to the field of the iTorus, it's organized geometries and it's spinning, it's rotating. And then if you combine the two, let's say you bring the iTorus over to the computer, that static chaos starts to get organized and it gets, you say, balanced out, transmuted. So keeping that around you when there's a lot of other chaos, the chaos energy hits your electrical field. And when that hits you, it starts to slowly create distortions and brings your field out of balance. And that can turn into anxiety over time, underlying anxiety. Well, this is like a force field around you that helps mitigate that type of energy from penetrating your field.
There's and I assume this would be also great for kids to wear on their neck, especially now these days. A lot of kids on their iPhones, devices, constantly, I would say bombarded by EMF and all that stuff. How helpful can it be for kids?
We have a lot of kids that use or wear this, and they do feel like they are getting some help from it. And a lot of kids our parents have bought their kids something like this because they had night terrors. And it's a horrible thing when your kid's always waking up with night terrors. And they swear that just having this around them helped them
It has
sleep
to be
better.
plugged in or just sitting by itself?
These would work better when they're plugged in,
Plugged
and you can play frequencies for sleep to get you in a theta wave, help you get into a deeper delta theta wave sleep.
Yeah. And I know your frequencies there for a long time. Some of them play for like 1 hour, like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour.
Yeah, anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour,
1 hour, yeah.
maybe
It's
10
great.
minutes.
It's great. If you've had unlimited resources, What's the dream project you would build for humanity?
Oh, well, I think first and foremost, it would be a healing device, like a med bed to really heal the human experience. There's a lot of trauma. We need something that can extend our lives. So I think that would be the first thing. Let's extend our lives. Let's heal the human experience from all this trauma. And then next, maybe energy. I think we have an energy crisis. So maybe shifting into some sort of alternative 0 point energy.
And what's that?
Say, what is
Zero.
that?
Yeah, what is that 0 point
Oh,
energy?
I'd like to play around with magnetics and frequencies and maybe fine tuning this type of technology into more of a 0 point energy field that we can harness that energy. So these do create a energy field that in electrical terms is an inductor coil. So it's a coil that stores charge in a magnetic field. So there is potential in this technology to evolve it into energy industries.
What's one thing 99% of people are doing wrong for their health right now?
99%. That's a huge number.
That's
So,
a huge alcohol, maybe?
well, definitely alcohol is a big factor in health. And
I feel like
our,
everyone is drinking.
I think our culture, society does promote it too much, and it can be very detrimental to your health. I mean, it is going to, and if you're actually working on your health and you're out there drinking, it's going to be like taking two steps forward and 3 steps back. It's just going to
And
keep
how does it
pulling you
work on
back.
the energy field? Like, let's say, I know when you start drinking alcohol, is it like maybe if you're social and you have one glass, will it affect you on the energy field? Because I know when drinking, it actually also changes the field.
Well, they call it spirits for a reason, and it does open up your energy field for that kind of negative influence. And they used to say having a glass of wine a day is good for you, and it can
French do
extend
it,
your life.
Italians do it.
And that actually came back recently, and they found that no, that's actually not true. It's not actually good for you. So even a little amount is slowing down your health progress. If you're trying to be in your best peak performance, just even a little amount can slow you down.
That's true. Do you ever drink anything?
It's very seldom, but I'm at a point now where I very seldom want to.
What's one conspiracy about energy or healing you secretly think it's true?
A conspiracy about energy
or
and
healing.
healing.
There's a lot of conspiracy about this and that, and
There's a lot of evidence that our mind can heal itself, and I think that is the biggest conspiracy that people, or the biggest belief that people have a hard time accepting, that they have the power with their own mind to heal themselves. And there's the placebo effect. There's lots of studies on how people's thoughts can create illness or it can create healthiness. And it's, Joe Dispenza has a book out called The Placebo Effect. There's a lot of evidence pointing towards how we can heal and create our own pharmacy from just our thoughts in our brain. We can activate different chemicals to create our own medicine within.
And do you think people are lazy?
I think so. Yeah, I'm guilty of it too. I know this and I believe in it, but am I using it to its full effect? No. And I call myself lazy all the time. Like, you could do that yourself. You're being lazy.
You would probably be unhuman if you were probably using it at full potential, right?
Yeah, you would definitely change the what the definition of human is if you're using that to your full potential.
Let's talk about manifestation. Manifestation is big. Do you manifest? How do you manifest? And do these devices help you to go to the next level of manifestation? I do believe it because I've used it and now I'm super excited to have a big one. But in your experience, how manifestation works?
Well, first of all, I think we're constantly manifesting whether we realize it or not. And it goes back to the point of what are we focusing on? What are we thinking about all the time? Because what that is what we're bringing into our life. So if we want to be purposefully manifesting, we need to be aware of what it is that we are unconsciously manifesting. And if that's something that's not healthy for us, we need to, like, first of all, stop doing that.
And how do you do that?
Well, you got to be aware of it. So you got to slow down. You got to probably get into a meditative practice and figure out what beliefs am I holding on to that are causing this stuff to happen in my life, because you can't have an emotion without a belief. So when we're having an emotional reaction, we have to triangulate and find out where did that emotion come from and figure out in our subconscious mind what belief is that emotion attached to. So these are like 101 beginning stages of manifestation to help get to a point where what do I want to manifest? And then in your meditative zone, you can take notes, you can build a vision board, and
I love vision
you can
boards.
create this reality that you want to manifest or you want to change your frequency to. So that's a good step, is vision boards, note taking. Just write the reality out that you want and visualize it. Visualizing is like the most powerful tool that we have. We can visualize, the medicine that we need and activate it. We can, when we visualize this future reality that we want, we're actually creating that frequency and we're embodying it. And we can visualize it to a point where we feel it. And when we feel it, we start creating different chemicals in the body. So we're embodying that frequency and that reality. And it goes to a point where if you keep doing that over and over, you're getting closer and closer to that reality that's in the quantum field. You're starting to vibrate closer to it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I started using manifestation a while ago, and I love how now these days you don't even think as a manifestation. It's actually already a thought and it already becomes a reality, right? So, and even like an example, I thought of having the iTours you bring in blue and you just brought it. And things like that happens all the time. So I believe when you in the right connection with yourself and you clean your auras clean, and then you start manifesting your reality, it becomes just a thought and it's already a reality, which is so beautiful. What's the simplest way to raise your vibration today?
The simplest way to raise your vibration today.
Yes.
Well, I went over the 5 elements earlier, which is all connecting with the earth. I mean, that's a really good, simple way to do it. Getting out into nature and tuning into what that feels like and getting away from like the matrix and all the things that you might be getting bogged down with at work, relationships. Like escaping that reality and going into nature, I think can pull you back into your true self, your authentic self. And that's probably like
The best
the
way
best
to
way to
reset.
do it is
Yeah.
like return to nature.
What's the one thing you wish everybody knew about their body's energy field?
One thing I wish is that they realize that they have an energy field and that it is something that their thoughts are constantly being projected, and it's not something that's contained inside their physical body, that they have this energy field and they're walking around telling a story from their energy field. And they're sending out their thoughts, they're sending out messages to the universe like a text message. So that field is full of information.
It's beautiful. If you had to give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
My younger self? Oh. Well, I would tell my younger self that don't procrastinate, don't wait for perfection, just go for it.
Beautiful. You've built pyramids, studied energy, survived war. Do you feel like this is your life's purpose?
I actually do feel like I'm embodying my life's purpose. Yeah. And that is like a really good way to raise your vibration, is being authentic with your life's purpose. I think that's
beautiful.
That's a really big goal that people can aspire for.
Yeah, and once you connect to that purpose, you are unstoppable.
Yeah.
Where do you see the iPyramids in 10 years?
I think that the iPyramids in 10 years could be a household, in your medicine cabinet. When you pull out all your tools that you have, I think maybe that could be a tool that's in the medicine cabinet, that's in your first aid kit that you can take with you everywhere you go.
If you were locked in the cabinet in the woods for 30 days without anything, what would you do?
If I was locked in a cabin in the woods for 30 days.
No phone, nothing, just you and the nature.
Oh, well, that would be a really good opportunity to tap in and listen and discover what is the next big thing that I'm supposed to do. So I think being in silence, being in isolation could be an opportunity to make a huge shift into the next chapter that your life has for you.
Have you ever been in a dark room for a period of times by yourself?
Actually, I did this technique for myself early on, and I put myself in a blindfold experience. And I said, okay, all day long, I'm going to not see anything but darkness. So I blindfolded myself and kept myself blindfolded all day. So I walked around the house. I made myself breakfast, lunch, dinner. I showered, all in darkness. And I think that counts as being in a dark room.
Yeah, how did you feel after that?
I was noticing that the darkness, I started to see through the blindfold, and I started to see energetic signatures of where the cabinets were and the fridge were. So it really helped me tune into the energy field and the atmospheric energy. And
do you still practice that?
Well, it did help me become aware of it, but I haven't done the blindfold technique in a long time.
I should try it myself before going to dark retreat. I was planning to go for like 3 days in a dark retreat.
Yeah, that sounds like so much fun, right? Just be in a room for
like 3 days and nothing, just in the room by itself. Finally, if listeners remember only 3 things from this conversation, what would you want them to remember?
I want them to remember that they are the most powerful version that they know, and that they can tap into that powerful version by getting into nature, connecting with the earth, grounding, and then following their passion, like tapping into their purpose in life, and don't have any fear when it comes to activating that and following through with it. You got to overcome the fear and just go for your purpose.
It's beautiful. Thank you so much for this amazing conversation. Where we can find you, where listeners can find you?
We have social media on all the channels, iPyramids, and iPyramids.com is the website. Just go there and follow us and tap into what we're going to be bringing into the future.
Yeah, and also maybe visit your clinic in Sedona.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah,
If you're in Sedona.
I am coming very soon. Can't wait to see it myself.
All right,
Well,
can't wait
thank
to
you
see you
so
there.
much for coming and sharing your story, sharing these beautiful inventions, and actually helping people to heal around the world.
Thank you for
I'm
having me.
grateful. Jason, thank you for sharing your story and your vision from your military journey to pyramids, energy fields, and the future of medicine. This conversation has been incredible. To everyone listening, I hope this episode gave you a new perspective on the power of energy, frequency, and the body's ability to heal itself. If you'd like to explore Jason's work, his Sedona Wellness Center, and iPyramids devices like the iTours, you can use my promo code Natalia for a special discount. You'll find all the links in the description below. As always, thank you for tuning in. Take care of your energy, stay curious, stay vibrant, and remember, wellness is life.